Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Stripology podcast. I'm Wendy, your host, and today I hope you find this topic as fun as I did when it woke me up at 4 a.m, wanting me to record this. Naturally, I went back to sleep after it ran through my brain for a while, and so I'm going to do my best to capture what it was that my brain really wanted to share with you today. But first, I would love if you could take the time to like and share this podcast. It would mean a lot, and it helps it to reach the people that are most needing it. So yeah, like and share. Please tag me as well if you do share it on socials. I'd love to see and share the love. And yeah, so this episode is all about the mindset of going all in. So I know on this podcast, I talk about mindset a lot and I talk about motivation a lot. And this is going a layer deeper, right? So we're going to get right into the mindset of going all in. And I know this is going to help you at work. So let's get into it. It's sort of difficult to know where to begin, but I want to start with talking about the way that we can train our minds. So as you know, I've come from a place of a lot of self-doubt, and I realized in order to really achieve in the way that I want to achieve, I need to train my mind. I need to train my mind to be on my team. And that's, something that we can do. It does take time, it does take repetition, it does take conscious effort in catching ourselves out when we're thinking the things that aren't helpful and getting it back on track. So I want to share with you one thing that I found really helped me to train my mind. And I found myself listening to a lot of podcasts and a lot of audiobooks. And one audiobook that I absolutely love is called Think and Grow Rich. It's an old classic by Napoleon Hill. It has so many gems of wisdom that it's just unbelievable. So I highly recommend this book. I found a really good version of it on YouTube because it is a long book. There are all different versions, different snippets, and I found one that I absolutely love. And I've listened to it for at least 50 times, I would say. There were so many pieces that my brain just clung onto and made so much sense to me. And obviously relating it to the strip club, there were just so many relevant points. And it really helped me to focus my attention and my energy into the things that really matter and the things that really help see results. So then to organize it into a way that worked for me, I found that, and if you've ever listened to my manifestation formula, manifestation is just another word interchangeable to achieving your goals, right? Having goals in mind, visualizing them, working towards them, and achieving them with taking action and surrendering the actual goal, knowing that when we focus on the action that we take, that is our best line of opportunity to create whatever it is that we're wanting to create. So my personal formula that I started using before work every single night was a combination of all of that. So I would feel into the amount that I really wanted to strive for and really wanted to make. And I would visualize the numbers, and I would one would highlight itself basically where it felt really exciting, it felt stretchy, and it felt achievable, but with some effort, So let's just say I'll go through the numbers, and it's like, cool, tonight I'm going to make 2,400 in return for that money, because this is my contribution to this formula. It's not a one-sided thing. Cool, I want 2,400, and then do some affirmations around like, I deserve money, I'm worth the money, I am amazing. It's really deciding on the action that I'm going to take, right? So yeah, tonight I'm going to make 2,400, and in return for that money, I am going to work as hard as I possibly can. I'm going to make sure my customers have an amazing time, and I'm also going to have an amazing time. And so, and then I would say thank you, right, to seal it all off. And I can tell you that hundreds of times I achieved what I was going for, because I was in full alignment with it. I believed it. I felt into it. I surrendered that amount. I didn't go to work thinking about the 2,400. I went to work thinking about, I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can. That's my side of the bargain. That's my promise to myself. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up at work and I'm going to give it 100%, 110%. I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can. I'm going to make sure that my customers have a fantastic time, because we are in customer service. And, you know, it's the giving over getting. If you've listened to my work or ever worked with me, you understand more deeply what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm going to make sure my customers have a fantastic time, and I'm going to have a fantastic time as well. Thank you. Thank you is like gratitude. It seals it off. It's pre-thanking the fact that I get to receive that amount of money. It's pre-thanking the fact that I'm thanking myself for all of the effort that I promised myself I'd put in, and that I did put in, that I made sure I stuck to putting in, despite whatever happened in the night. And then I thank the customers, because, you know, gratitude to them. They're the ones that are handing the money over. And then I thank myself and the whole night in itself, that I got to really enjoy myself as well. So gratitude for all of it. So really creating that formula that really helps my brain to promise that I'm going to go all in, and that that is part of the formula, and that taking action is all part of the formula. And so, yeah, I just really wanted to share that, because I find that there's so much power in that decision of going all in, particularly when we want to reach high goals, because that is the best way to reach them, right? So there's always millions of reasons why we can give up. And obviously in the strip club, it can be a challenging environment. And we can really buy into all of the reasons that not only our brain is telling us, but also the people around us are telling us. Also, the information that we're taking in from the night is telling us. But if we don't buy into it, and we just give ourselves one reason to keep going, then that can be enough. So a million reasons to give up, and it only takes one reason to keep going. And I like to think of that reason to keep going. Yes, we can look at our why, we can look at the big picture, but the promise to ourselves that we're going to go all in and we're going to work as hard as we possibly can. That promise to myself helps me keep going, because I know that's the best chance that I have in order to receive what I'm aiming to receive. So when the thoughts come in, like I'm tired, my feet hurt, you know, you hear people around you saying, tonight is really shit. It's full of, the club's full of assholes. You know, you might visually see like there's not many people in, or, you know, it was raining on the way in and it's always quiet when it's raining. And, you know, all of these reasons to talk yourself out of really, really trying. When we buy into that, we can start noticing our energy drop, and we're not holding our end of the bargain up. So it's really important to remember the promise to yourself that you're going to keep going. We just need to keep going. And an example that I really want to give outside of the stripping arena is sports people. So, you know, I always bring up how sports people can do a lot of preparation outside of the game in order to perform the best when they're at the game on the day. But also mindset really comes into it. Now, sports players, and I'm going to use triathlon as an example because my husband does triathlons, and I can see the amount of preparation he puts in, the amount of determination, and it is so like emotional, and it is so impressive seeing people run a marathon, a triathlon or a marathon, whatever it is, and really push themselves knowing they've gone all in. Like you see people getting, you know, chaperoned past the finish line because they can no longer walk but they're not giving up. It's that mindset. And so in that moment, I just want to, go for a moment to thinking about doing a triathlon. And I mean, I haven't done this personally, but I can only imagine, and I can relate it to the strip club, right? There would have to be so many moments in a triathlon where like you've got a leg cramp, or you're getting dizzy, or you're dehydrated, or getting heat stroke, whatever it is, completely fatigued. There would be so many moments in a triathlon where your mind is just screaming at you, like, just fucking stop. Like, I can't do it. There's still, 18 kilometers to go. Like, I can't do it. This is enough. Finish line is too far away. And the thing is, we've got two options in this moment. We can either listen to that voice and go, yeah, you're right. Like, my leg is really hurting and I could just totally go and sit in the shade right now and have an electrolyte drink or something like that. That would feel so good. That's one option. And then there's another option to keep going and to back yourself and to talk yourself into keeping on going, knowing that the reward at the end is so much greater than the instant gratification of giving up in the moment, which would obviously feel really good in the moment. But how much better is it when you finish something and you know that you put it all in, you went all in, you put everything you've got into it? That is delayed gratification, and that is what people that really succeed that's a quality that they have, right? Is delayed gratification, scientifically proven. And so really looking at these two options, knowing that, okay, let's switch back to the strip club, knowing that, okay, it's quiet, everyone is being difficult, my feet hurt, the vibe is shit, the music is shit, like whatever it is that your mind is going to, like, I don't even want to try anymore, like, it's just pointless, like, why did I even come in tonight? We've all heard it all from our brains before. And we can buy into it and start feeling really defeated and start feeling our energy drop and start listening to those voices and going, yeah, they're right. Like, why did I even come in? I could be at home right now in my comfy, warm bed. Fuck it, I'm just going to see if I can go home. Like, I'll pay the fee if the club has a fee. I'll pay the fee. I just want to go home. Or like, whatever it is, I just need to sit down. I'm just going to go and, scroll on my phone and, do certain things that might represent to you giving up on the night, not wanting to talk to anyone. There's so many examples, right? But if we get to the end of the night and we know that we tried our 100% best, despite the outcome, right? We need to detach from the outcome. Like I said in that formula before, not thinking of the outcome, doing our absolute best. And if we get to the end of the night and we've done our absolute best and we ask ourselves, did I try my absolute best? And the answer is yes, then it doesn't really matter what the outcome is. But if we answer, did I try my absolute best? And we answer to ourselves, no, I didn't, I gave up along the way. Then we're faced with being disappointed in ourselves. If we're really wanting to create outcomes. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule, yes, but I'm talking about an all-in mindset. If we do this on repeat and we notice that we have a pattern within ourselves where we tend to give up all of the time and we tend to buy into those thoughts and let that mindset win, and then we repetitively look back and ask ourselves, did I try my best? No. Did I try my best? No. We start running a pattern of feeling disappointed in ourselves. And that's a little sneaky crack where, energy can slip out and, all the light slips through the cracks, and we start having a narrative about ourselves that, it can end up being all different kinds of things, like, I suck, whatever it is, I'm not enough, all of these things. It's setting up cracks in the mindset. So it's really good to practice giving our mind the opportunity to really start trusting and believing in ourselves. And that is by sticking to the promise that we make to ourselves, which is, I am going all in. My makeup's on, I'm going all in despite the outcome. Knowing that the practice of going in all in repetitively is the best way to create the best outcome. So we're not attached to the outcome, but we know that we're taking all of the actions that we are in control of to create an environment that is the best outcome, not only financially, but also in our minds as well. We are creating that environment of the best possible outcome, the way that we view ourselves, the evidence that we have that going all in all of the time means that it is worth it, because overall we're going to definitely make more money more consistently. It comes down to that. It's all tied in together. So it's a personal challenge. This is a personal challenge that we can have with ourselves. And it doesn't matter if sometimes we fuck up. We all fuck up. Sometimes we do need to be, easy on ourselves and take that rest and all of that. I'm so all about that. But I'm talking if you're disappointing yourself on repeat, it's a personal challenge. So yeah, giving up in the moment can feel better, but going all until the end and knowing you gave it your all is even more satisfying. And it's a personal challenge, and we can start afresh every day. We can start afresh every moment. We might have a difficult interaction and lose our shit or, doubt ourselves for a moment, but then we can regroup and come back into the moment and say, hey, I'm ready to go all in again. I'm not going to slip into self-defeat. I'm not going to slip into self-doubt, talking myself out of all of the things, knowing that I'm going to be disappointed with myself at the end of the night. I'm going to regroup and get back into it and go all in. And we can do that at any moment, on any night. So this is the same principle, not just in stripping and in sport, but in everything, like business, relationships, even health. All of the big areas of life, we have the opportunity to check in with ourselves and say, hey, today I'm going to try again, and I'm going to be better than I was yesterday. That's our personal challenge. That's how we can improve. That's how we can strengthen our self-esteem. And we have the opportunity to do that every single day. I want to give an example, like relationships. They take two people, okay? Two people going all in on themselves. We know how it feels if we're all in on a relationship and the other person isn't. And if it falls apart at the end, if you can say to yourself, well, I tried my absolute best, it's going to feel a lot better than if we didn't really try and it fell apart, right? Same with business. This business in itself, that, Stripology, this podcast, it's been a really long road, and I've had a million reasons to give up. I've had a million different times that I've wanted to give up. But at the end of the day, I haven't done it to the level that I want to do it. And so I need to keep that promise to myself and just keep going. And so it's just that one thing that we can do. And I remember doing a dance for someone years ago, and he had a really big business, and I was just starting out with Stripology. And I remember asking him, because my mindset, I needed to know. And I asked him, do you doubt yourself very often? Like, do you ever feel like walking away from your business? Do you ever feel like it's not going to work out or it's too much? And he had a really big, successful business. And he said, every day. And I couldn't believe it. I laughed so much. I was like, really, every day? Like, you're so successful. And he's like, I feel that every day, but he just gets back on and takes action. And it's like, this is a sign, there's nothing wrong with us if we do doubt ourselves, but it's our mindset. Like, how do we get back up? It's okay if we fall down, but how do we pick ourselves back up? And if we do fall down and we do pick ourselves back up, that is such a good quality to have, because that's how you push yourself to higher levels. That's how we reach more success, because if we're just okay with how things are and we don't regroup and we don't check in with ourselves, then how are we ever going to improve? So going all in has so many lessons, not just pushing yourself and getting good results. No, there's a whole lot of times that you're going to fall down, but you're going to get back up, look at the lessons, and then on a fresh slate, tell yourself, cool, today is a new day, and today I can do even better than I did yesterday. So this is the mindset I'm talking about, of going all in, something that really excites me, and it's something that I love to practice with stripping, because as I mentioned before, it creates so much evidence for yourself that going all in is worth it. It is worth it for so many reasons, as I'm saying at the moment. So let's look at now times that we give up. So yes, these thoughts creep in. Yes, we fall down. Yes, things get difficult. Yes, we have challenging customers. Yes, we have challenging nights. All of that happens. But there's going to be a pivotal moment when, if that defeating critical thoughts start to win, what is it that allowed that crack to form? So what is your weakness? Really looking at, what is your weakness? Is it the 10th no? Is it not getting a dance for the first 2 hours? Is it the club has a low vibe and it's really hard to get into it? What is it that allows a crack to form in your mindset where you start buying into the doubt? So really checking in with yourself and asking yourself that, what is the point that I chose to give up? We all see people in the change rooms most nights. There are dancers crying in the change rooms. There are people scrolling on their phones. There are people saying all kinds of defeatist things, and basically with a defeatist mindset, and they've, to some level, given up. What was the point, the tipping point that made that thought pattern succeed? So really being real with yourself is so important, to be in tune with that. And that's what I do a lot in my coaching, is helping people to really dig down and discover what are the patterns that trip them up, so we can work on those and strengthen them, so they no longer have that crack and they can create that really strong mindset, which equals more confidence, it equals a greater income, and all of those things. So really being real with yourself and taking note each night. What was the last straw? What started you down that trend of cracking your mindset? Ideally, we want to have a Teflon strength mindset where we're completely okay with any outcome and we just focus on the job at hand and we go all in and do our absolute best, focusing on all of the tiny details that we know help us to sell more easily, and all of the things that we go through in the Industry Academy. So let's look at this moment when things start to slip. And we can go there in our minds, when things start to get on top of us. So have a little think about that. And there's a really great author and athlete called David Goggins, and he's got a couple of books. And he's got a concept talking about, where he talks about what if, right? So let's talk about the mindset when it starts to slip and it's like, oh, tonight is shit. Like, I shouldn't have even come in. I don't want to talk to anyone else. Like, everyone is shit. Everyone is pissing me off, whatever it is. But what if? Okay, so what if is a fantastic pattern interrupt. So if we notice these patterns that make us start to slip downwards, we can stop ourselves and interrupt that thought process and ask ourselves, what if? What if I just tried again? What if the next customer was an amazing customer? What if this night panned out even better than I could imagine at this point right now? So what if? Okay, this is so powerful. And I just want to share with you something that I love to do in that what if moment. And so let's talk about a tricky night where it's a quiet night. I've tried everybody probably a couple of times. Now, I've trained myself to never give up. If you've ever worked with me, you've never seen me sit down unless I'm paid. And you've probably never seen me stop. And so if I'm not in a dance, I'm going to be hustling, full stop, or on stage. That is it. And so with that what if, I know the moment where I have tried everybody and, I start to have the doubt creep in. And, then I take my mind straight to, but what if new people come in? What if I do another lap and I get a dance in that lap? So I just go bang, all right. And I say to myself, I'm going to do another lap right now, starting with that person. And then I just choose the nearest customer to me and I just do another lap. And most of the time, I end up getting a dance before I've finished going around the whole room again. So there's so many things that we can do, and that's in my control. I can either start feeling defeated, I can start getting discouraged, I can choose to not take action, or I can choose to take action and go all in and just do another lap. It really, really works out. Our chances are increased when we do that. So another reason why we might start giving up is also to protect ourselves. So there's a thing that we do as humans, and we always want to protect ourselves from being hurt, right? And it is uncomfortable getting rejected. Not that we've been rejected, but hearing no, hearing no, hearing no, hearing no, and still trying. It can start to really grate on us and start to really, bruise our self-esteem and things like that if we let it. But it can be really challenging. So if we're like getting no and no and no and no, and maybe later, of course, and maybe later and maybe later, and I'm just going to finish my drink, and all the things that we hear. If we notice that we stop trying, but we're still kind of trying, so we're just going in at like 50%, there's potentially a part of ourselves that want to protect ourselves. Because at that moment, if we do get another no, we can sort of rest in the fact that we're like, well, I didn't really try anyway, so it's fine. And there can be an element of self-preservation in us not going all in, because it can be quite challenging going all in, giving in your absolute best and still getting a no. It can be quite baffling, or it can be quite deterring. But that's the thing that we need to strengthen, because if we notice that we are holding ourselves back in the attempt to, feel safe or protect ourselves or not feel, offended or rejected, or all the things that can come up. And if we are countering that by just trying a bit that it doesn't really hurt if we get a no, because we know we didn't really try, then we're not giving ourselves the best opportunity, right? And then at the end of the night, like I said at the start, we're going to check in with ourselves and go, did I try my hardest? No, I didn't. And we can't turn time back. We can't go back and go, actually, I want to do tonight again and go all in, because I feel like I'll make more money if I actually tried. We can't do that. So we need to do it in the first go, and it is a really sneaky way to look after ourselves, by just trying enough to not get hurt, but hopefully make some money and straddle that kind of limbo. It's probably not going to be the thing that's going to make you a really consistent high income. You might feel more comfortable at the time, but I guarantee there's going to be some slips, like some cracks in the self-esteem there, where we know that we're not backing ourselves because we're not believing in ourselves enough to go all in. So it's like a full circle thing. So we can ask ourselves, again, like I was saying with that what if pattern interrupt, but what if I did go all in? What if I did go all in? What's that going to feel like? What could that potentially achieve? How could the outcome be different? But what if I did go all in? Could that change something? Is it really going to hurt me that much if I do go all in? What if it increases my chances of having a fantastic night and making more money because I'm sticking to my promise of working as hard as I possibly can in the moment, every moment? So really checking in with yourself. What is the purpose of not going all in? What is the purpose of doing your makeup and getting ready and going to work and not giving it your best? Because if you are doing that, I guarantee you there is a purpose for you not going all in. So really asking yourself, what is the benefit of me not giving it my 100% every single night? What is the benefit? And when you discover that benefit, it can be really helpful because then you can see what the benefit is and toss that up between, okay, I feel less offended, for example. Okay, so the benefit of me not trying my absolute best every single night is because it's less hurtful. It's, it's less offensive, it's more comfortable. Let's look at what is the benefit of going all in. I learn far more about myself. I learn far more about the process. I have a greater opportunity of making more money. I have a greater opportunity of creating fantastic customers. All of the things, I have a greater opportunity of maintaining a consistent high income night in, night out. I have a greater opportunity of strengthening my self-esteem. I have a greater opportunity of strengthening my confidence. I have a greater opportunity of strengthening the trust that I have in myself. And I have a greater opportunity of creating a list of evidence, situations that I can draw on that tell my brain that the more often I go all in, the more often I make more money and I have a good night and consistently. So there's a lot of evidence there. So what is the benefit? Really checking in on that. And so what if we get, a whole lot of no's? So back to this what if, this pattern interrupt. What if I try again and do another lap? And what if I go around and I get 30 no's? Well, the best thing about getting 30 no's in a row is the fact that you got 29 no's in a row and you still tried again. That is priceless. So, it's just like the triathlon example. What is the point of showing up to a triathlon with all your gear on, all ready to rock and roll, and then at the first sign of difficulty, the first leg cramp, the first, signs of dehydration, you just give up? It's kind of counteractive. So I hope this was inspiring for you. This is something that I am super passionate about. I hope it had you thinking about a few different points in this. The mindset of going all in really is our best hope in creating a consistent high income. And it is our best resource for really learning about our strengths and our weaknesses and creating the patterns for our mind to start doing behaviors that support us and that help us create the best outcome. And if this is something that excites you, we have the 7-day challenge. It starts on Friday. I know this is coming out 2 days before, but you still have time to join and get the worksheet and receive support and go all in on the next 7 days and see what is truly possible whilst receiving support, whilst being held accountable, whilst being in an amazing group of other people from around the world who are also wanting to go all in. Motivation breeds motivation, confidence breeds confidence, and going all in breeds going all in. So let's do it. I can't wait to have you in this program. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. And please share this episode if it inspired you, if it helped to motivate you, because that's what it's all about. We're here to share, we're here to pass on the knowledge, and we're here to cheer each other on. So here's to going all in, and I hope you have an amazing week.